Joining us now to talk about this, attorney Anahita Sedaghatfar. She is of counsel to the Cochran firm. It's interesting that the prosecution decided to go ahead and retry this case. It almost seemed like a sort of a difficult case in the first place to try to litigate.
Right. You know, the facts aren't going to change in the second trial. The evidence isn't going to change in the second trial. And the reality is those jurors deliberated for 50 hours and they could not convict him on any of the criminal counts. So I really think it's questionable. I think it's a waste of taxpayer money. Ultimately,
I'm going to interrupt you right there and say, even given the fact that 10 jurors voted to convict,
I've heard differing accounts as to what the juror count was, so we don't know for sure that that's what it was. I know specifically for one of the counts there were 0 jurors that wanted to convict. But at the end of the day, this case really came down to credibility. There was no forensic evidence, obviously no eyewitnesses, and so it came down to whether or not those jurors believed Andrea Constand or they believed Bill Cosby. And I think the defense did such a great job poking holes into Andrea Constand's credibility. I mean, they showed that she didn't report the crime, the alleged assault, for over a year. They showed that the 3 statements she gave to the police were entirely inconsistent, right? Her story changed over time. And I think what was really critical in the eyes of this jury, and will be in the second trial, is that she lied about her contact with Bill Cosby. She said she had no contact with him after the alleged assault. All of the
accusations from the other people, which was not admissible in this case, that's going to be the same situation for trial number 2. So you still don't have all of the other women who have come forward who are saying, this also happened to me.
Right, and those women, those alleged victims, shouldn't be allowed to testify, in my opinion, because really every case needs to stand on its own facts. Okay, so this case is about Bill Cosby and Andrea Constand and whether or not he sexually assaulted her. It has nothing to do with the other alleged victims, and that is why generally in trials we don't allow prior bad acts to come in. And I think if the judge allows one or more of the alleged victims to testify in the second trial and he gets convicted, that's a huge issue on appeal.
Quickly, though, I'm curious, what does the prosecution have to do differently? Because obviously they think they have a case.
Right. Well, some people would argue that the prosecution really is moving forward with this second trial, not really to seek justice, but for political motivations. We know that this district attorney ran his campaign on the fact that he was going to prosecute Cosby. So I think it's questionable. Again, I don't think the facts are going to change. The facts are what they are, and those jurors that sat through and heard that trial for a week and deliberated could not convict him on any of the 3 counts.
All right, with the 2 minutes we have left in this segment, everyone's talking about this whole Blac, Chyna, Rob Kardashian situation. In fact, just today, they are saying that they're going to bring Rob Kardashian into court and file a restraining order against him.
Blac Chyna hired Lisa Bloom to be the attorney.
That's right. So she's going in and she's going to seek a restraining order to prevent him from posting additional nude images. She has every right to do that. And my understanding is that she also says she fears for her safety. She fears for her life, arguably. That would be what she would have to show the judge to get a restraining order. You know, restraining orders are not very difficult to get because they are temporary. The issue as to whether or not what Rob Kardashian did by posting those images rises to the level of criminality, I don't see that. I don't see a prosecution, and if the prosecutor does charge...
I mean, if she did not consent to those photos and he just put them out there, why would that not rise to the level of criminality?
That's a great question, because in California you have to show that the photos were private and that the person sustained severe emotional distress as a result of the posting. And all due respect to Chyna, but she has made her career and her celebrity status by posting very salacious images of herself, very provocative images. And so to make the argument that she was somehow extremely emotionally distraught because Kardashian posted these images, it's not a very strong or compelling argument to make in front of a jury.
All right, Anahita, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
By the way, if you are a victim of revenge porn, there is a website out there. It's cybercivilrights.org.
Anahita Sedaghatfar, thank you so much.
Great to see you.
We'll be back.